A trio of Arizona school districts are losing millions of dollars that go directly to paying their teachers. That move by the U.S. Department of Education in response to Trump administration's order to remove DEI policies from schools.
But 12 News journalist Sean Rice spoke with a board member from Osborn School District who says the things that are cut here are not necessarily DEI. So what's happening, Sean?
Yeah, that's right, Troy and Caribbean. That board member's name is Ed Hermes. He, again, is a school board member from the Osborn School District in Central Phoenix. He says this grant funding labeled AZ Prime was going directly to hire and retain their teachers. But because that grant has the word equity in the name, that federal funding has now been pulled. Now several Arizona school districts are having to dip into their already bleak funding sources to keep those teachers.
Now to have the rug pulled out from under us, we're left reeling and frankly trying to find answers, trying to fight it.
A fight with the federal government.
I'm a member of the Osborn School District Governing Board.
It's one Ed Hermes says his school district is up for after millions of dollars were pulled by the U.S. Department of Education. That money awarded to Osborn, Avondale, and Gadsden school districts back in 2023 by the National Institute for Excellence in Teaching.
About $1 million left in this grant that's earmarked for educator pay, to hire educators to be in our schools, to work with our kids, to educate our kids.
That grant money is called AZ Prime, which stands for Prioritizing Recruitment/Retention and Induction to Maximize Equity. According to Arizona Superintendent of Schools Tom Horn, it's that last word, equity, that has likely caught the eye of the feds.
They've been doing a lot quickly, so they've just been doing word searches. And so I think it would be helpful to them, take the word out and ask for the money back. And I know of a lot of educational institutions are doing that. They're taking those words out.
That move in response to the Trump administration and Department of Education's vow to eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion policies from schools, and any grant funding aligned with those ideals terminated as well.
Take the offensive word out of it and the substance out of it, focus on individual merit and not on equity, which means equity to the people who've been pushing DEI means equal results by racial group, which makes no sense. And probably the funding would be restored.
This has nothing to do with DEI.
The catch, according to Hermes, is this grant funding wasn't going to pushing DEI policies or even hiring teachers based on their race.
We're a public school district. We're not just sitting on piles of cash and piles of money. We're using that to educate our kids.
Now the district is searching for $250,000 in their contingency funds just to pay their teachers through the rest of this year.
We made a promise to our kids, and unlike the federal government, we don't break those promises.
And 12 News reached out to the U.S. Department of Education to try and learn more about why this grant funding has been eliminated. Tonight, we're still awaiting their response. Now, the National Institute for Excellence in Teaching, they're really the vessel that gets this money to the schools. They say they're planning to appeal this decision. Back to you guys.
All right, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting that searching the word equity was enough to have this struck. And it's interesting that they're doing word searches to try to find some of these DEI grants.
Yeah, well, you think how many of these potential grants there are or how many there are across the country. So you'd think you'd have to do some sort of word search, but that's something we didn't know and something the superintendent of Arizona schools certainly told us today that caught us a lot by surprise because we didn't know that's really how it was being done, but it appears as though it is.
Yeah, that is extremely interesting. All right, Sean, thank you.